All right, good morning. Good morning for us. It might be a different time for you, the afternoon or the evening when you're listening. Anyway, good morning and welcome. It's bright and early for us. It's been a fun morning so far. Okay, so we will get started on this. We today, oh my gosh, we're not talking about that one. I had the other one in my
I was about to
mind.
say, I already forgot what topic we picked.
We're going to talk about, in our opinion, which obviously we don't know why, but just we're going to kind of break down maybe why adoptions fail. So when people that are in the process of trying to adopt, maybe why they don't go through or what changes or what happens, because I think it's a lot more common than people think, because you see the big B of like, look, we adopted and this is our family now, because you focus on that more versus actually failed adoptions. So what are your thoughts on why maybe like sometimes, like, I don't know, they don't go through?
Um, Truthfully, I think it's like not every case, but for some, I think it might be fear.
On what side? Both sides? Birth
Probably
side?
both sides, maybe
Adopt.
both
Okay.
sides. When you think about it, like I think there can be a couple different factors that go into it. Just like, now they do all the testing and everything to see what you're about to walk into as a parent. You know what I mean? Like they do
Yeah.
genetic testing and all these other things. And you can find out things about medical history, or not medical history, but like I don't even know how should I say that? Like I don't
Yeah,
want
I
to,
get I get what you
like,
mean
do you know what I
though. Like
mean? Like
medical
what
back
you're
back. Yeah, yeah. What you're made of.
it's
You
like
can
it's
say
like
it that
it's
way.
yeah,
Yeah.
what you're about to medically walk into, whether it
Yes.
is a
Yes.
100% medically healthy baby,
Right.
or if there are going to be opportunities there.
Right. Right.
Is that the right
Well,
way to
and
say that?
yeah, but no, but I get what you mean, because I mean, it could even be like there's Down syndrome sometimes with the
Yeah.
baby. You can happen into that,
Well,
or there's drugs and
or
alcohol that are
or
used that, you know what I mean, that you
or
want to
even
not
like
make sure of.
missing limbs, missing hands, missing
Correct.
fingers, missing
Correct.
missing feet. Like there's
Yeah.
you can learn that with the advancements we have in technology, with medicine, we can learn that more. And I think that there may be some parents out there, not good or bad, just saying,
Yeah.
if they find that about the child they're adopting, they have an immediate moment of fear of, I don't know that I can do this.
No,
That
yes.
I feel like that's a possibility. Or um finding out that, or a birth parent going, I don't know that I can do this. Like I don't know
Right.
that this is the best decision, even though they know it may be the best decision, but the fear takes over of, what if I'm
Right.
not making the right choice, and they second
Yeah.
guess.
Yes. Yes. Well,
Or
that's
like
good.
in I feel like there's obviously more, but I feel like that's
Right.
probably one of them.
The
Like,
biggest. No, I would have to agree,
mm-hmm,
because I feel like even fear when people who actually get pregnant and are having biological children of their own, like you have that
mm-hmm,
fear too, because you go in and you can get all the genetic testing done and
mm-hmm.
stuff like that, and outcome of your kid, you never know. It is kind of like Russian roulette. It's in God's hands, and
Right.
God's going to provide for how he's going to provide. Um, I don't know. I do think it does sadden my heart too when you hear of the cases that like they're like, oh, we were gonna adopt, but we found X, Y, and Z out about this kid that like is completely out of the kid's hands. And so like
Oh,
we didn't.
yes.
Or have we ever talked? This might be good because it goes right in with it. The lady on social media that they adopted and then they gave the kid back. Did you ever hear
I'm
about
sorry,
that?
what? No,
Yes. Oh, I don't know her name, but
maybe.
I stumbled
What?
upon her and I was like, that is disgusting. It's because she was like too hard and I'm pretty sure she had some medical things going on with her, some, mental
Right,
things going on with her. But yeah, they had
right.
her for a while and then they gave her back. I'm gonna see if I can Google it. But like, oh
What?
my, like when I
Like,
saw it, it
see,
was horrible.
wait. So this was okay. Wait, I'm trying to, like, y'all, those listening, please forgive me. It is early in the morning. Um, what?
Yeah.
Like, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. So was it a child they adopted from foster care? Or was it a
That's
child they
where,
adopted in infancy? Either way, it's messed up. To be like,
yeah,
oh,
that's where I
just
need
kidding,
to.
return policy. Like, you can't do that. Like, a person doesn't have a return policy on them. Like, it's just so, that's so gross.
I found her. I found her. Okay. So, she had a pretty big YouTube channel too.
What,
I don't think she's on
the
social media
adoptive
anymore at
mom?
all. Yes. Um,
I'm so floored by this.
so ongoing issues, and this is what drives me crazy. So I know he did have, did he have exactly? Um, some kind of, I don't know exactly what it was, but here's my thing. If you had a biological child of your own, and you're like, you know what, this child has too many issues and it's too hard, you can't just give that shit away. I mean, you can if you're an evil parent. I'm just going to say it. But like, just because you adopted this child, you can be like, oh, technically it's not mine. So I'm going to give it back.
That's
That's
so
where it's
gross.
disgusting. Yeah. Let me
That's so
see.
gross on so many levels. Like, I just I don't get it.
He did. Yeah. He did go to a new family. I'm trying to think if there's like a big thing about it, but like she even put out like this big old, we can't do this anymore, he's been rehomed, it's been too hard. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. She's a big time YouTuber.
So the big time YouTuber was the one that did the adopting.
Yes, correct. Okay, so they brought him um home from China. He has autism. They weren't aware of the severity of his special needs during the adoption process and indicated that they were not equipped to provide the care of the little boy.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
um,
Just a thought. What if that was their biological child? Would they have moved heaven and earth to take care of them and they just looked at like
no, I
that?
agree.
Okay, so that instance is just an example of why the people are so anti-adoption have,
Yes,
a leg to stand on.
yes, agreed. Yeah. No, and this too even says, hang on.
That's
She
so gross.
this lady shared in January 2017, so 9 months before bringing him back home, that a doctor here almost discouraged them because after they did like, a physical on him, they knew
Hmm.
his special needs would be very severe and it would just be a lot to take care of. And if you're ready for that, great. But it's like,
It's going to
don't
be a
bring this
lot.
child into your home and then be like, you know what? I can't handle this and give it back. Like it
That,
drives me
that's
crazy.
just so gross. Well,
Yeah,
like, so here's my question. Was the YouTube channel big before or after the adoption?
I think before. Oh,
So
I
because
maybe I'll go look her up.
she was a YouTuber,
Yes.
she
She,
adopted.
right. Everything I've read is that she hasn't done anything since this whole thing happened. Like she hasn't uploaded. She's completely like been gone off of social media. Like it's just bad. I was trying to see if they're,
I don't, I just don't understand the thought process. Pocket, I need you to sit down. Thank you.
these people are crazy, man.
I just, I, but like, see, though, that's an example. I don't know. That's one of those things that you just look at it and go, if I don't know, I can't even look at that and say, if you don't think you're prepared, like if you don't think you can handle it, then you should back out. And if the adoption falls through, then there's going to be somebody else waiting. But obviously, there's not a ton of people waiting because there are plenty of kids that are like in the foster care system that
Right.
can't get, that aren't being adopted, and there's plenty. But then again, I think that's other things. But that system is severely broken. Whatever.
No, no.
I'm not even diving into that. Staying on topic. Staying on topic this time. On topic. I'm like talking to myself on that, like giving myself a talking to.
We're gonna stay on topic. You're so
Stay
funny.
on top. Stay on topic, Delancey. Stay on topic. But like, my whole thing is that I get it that people want to build their family however they want to build their family.
Yeah.
And I also understand that, if things like that come up, then the fear steps in and you're just like, I don't know that I can do this. I would respect it more if you took a step back and was like, I don't think that I'm prepared to do this. But that just blows my mind that somebody would go through with the adoption and then no one come for me on this, but for lack of a better term, rehome the kid.
Yeah. No, it's true. It's true what you're saying.
Because apparently what I've seen on TikTok recently is there a Facebook group or something
Yeah.
for adoptive parents, and they
Oh,
can
yeah.
post statuses saying, I'm looking for somebody to adopt the child that I've adopted, and they like list out, thank you. That was the same look I made, and I have personally never seen this, so I don't know how much truth is in it. I have no
Right.
idea, but that sounds like the same thing as what this is.
Holy shit.
It's just it, it's a human being. Like, this is a human being. This is a person.
This is where I can get on. I can't even believe I'm saying this. I can empathize more with the people who are anti-adoption, because if you're gonna do this
Hmm.
shit, you shouldn't even be in this adoption
Hmm.
community. You go
Facts.
elsewhere. Don't be here if you don't have the right intents, because me and Delancey both come from parents who raised us and loved us and gave us
Hmm.
everything that we could have ever imagined. And to
Hmm.
like even think that like I just can't even think that way as a human. Like, well, I'm
I
done. So
can't.
here, I'm gonna list you
I,
on Facebook to have somebody, not saying that it's true,
fact.
but just from what she's heard.
But
But you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, just even seeing that somebody would potentially create that, even if it's not true, and that thought process was out there because somebody had to have said something. Because, like, rumor is based
true.
somewhat in truth. It may get misconstrued and
Yes.
everything, but
Right.
it goes back to, like Milena just said, we both come from parents who love us dearly and who have, you know parents don't always do everything right.
No,
They just don't. I mean, you
no,
can't. It's
no.
impossible. You're human beings just like all of us are.
Yes.
But we know that we come from parents who did the best that they could with what they had
Yeah.
and with what they were trying to do. And I mean, I can't I'll just for mine, because I actually had this conversation stuck with me. It's like maybe 6 months to a year ago, something like that. Somebody said something to me about I don't remember the whole topic, but it was in reference to, oh, well, it's different when it's your own flesh and blood. And I'm like, I know for a fact my
Mhm.
parents would ride for me and go to war for
Yes.
me or support me or
Yes.
hold me accountable just as
Yes.
much as their flesh and blood, like their literal flesh and blood. Like, not sharing their DNA does not make me any less their daughter. So I agree with Melina. If you're not going into this with the full intent of, and I'm not trying to criticize anybody, let me go ahead and throw that out there, but I just think that if you are going to carry a baby and then you're told by a doctor that they're going to be behavioral things, like there's
Right.
medical diagnosis, there's this, that, and the other, physical, limitations, or as their child grows up, you would never turn your back on that child. So
No.
if you're going to adoption, it should be the same thing.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like, it should be the
Agreed.
same exact thing. You shouldn't look at them and go, oh, this is going to be hard, so I'm just going to give up and go away.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
not ready, if you're not ready to be all in as a parent, then, I mean, take a step back. But there's resources out there to help you. There's
Mhm.
support groups, there's things like that. Don't,
Yeah.
quote unquote, rehome.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
But like, I honestly think though, like, telling myself again, stay on topic, Delancey. I think that that's one of the biggest reasons why adoptions fall through, is that adoptive parents, not all of them, but they may have this idea of, this is going to be every parent, not just adoptive parents, every parent wants a quote unquote perfect baby.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like
No,
if
that makes
like
total sense. Yeah. Yeah.
so I don't, it's not bad that they hear something and they have an emotional reaction and they're just like,
Right.
oh, this is gonna be
Right.
hard. But when they that fear may overtake them. So I think that's
Yeah.
everything that we just said. And like you said, the doctor told them, this is gonna be hard. This is gonna
Yeah.
be rough. And they're like,
Yeah.
it's okay, I've got it.
And then
And then they try to give the child back.
back out of it.
It would
Yeah.
have been it would have been better just to back out from the
Agreed.
beginning.
Agreed. No. And it goes like I like how you touched on the adoptive family like part of it because yeah, there's 100% fear. And then there's a
Mhm.
lot of adoptive parents that express with me like biological parents who back out or biological
Mhm.
grandparents get involved and they're like we actually can do this, so the child's going to stay with the family. And
Mhm.
that's hard too because you're dreaming of this child and then all of a sudden like it's gone and you try your best to be like okay, that's probably, but it's also really hard because you may see that situation and that baby's going to be in for the rest of their
Mhm.
lives and you're just like oh just I have to say prayer and just let it be because it is what it is. And it goes back to how the people think blood needs to be with blood. That's not always the case. It's just
So weird.
not like it's just not.
Or blood needs to be with blood, or like you were talking about before we got on here, or maybe it was right when we got on. It was before we got on here that like nobody's gonna like I'm about to say this, but I have no other way to say it. But like color color match.
Oh, yeah, color needs to stay with color. Yeah, race needs to
Yeah,
stay with
like I was
race.
so I'm almost curious because it's you know, who Brennan,
Yeah,
his interview, he thought he was Hispanic
he thought he's or Polynesian, one of the
or
two.
Polynesian, one of the two, Polynesian or Hispanic, and then he found out
It's not
he's
even.
not.
Yes.
But I mean, like that's another thing too, if you think about it. I mean, I couldn't imagine this being the case, but I mean, I would like to think that it's not the case because I'm a little naive sometimes still. And I almost feel like with different scenarios, if um, you know, adoptive parents not knowing,
Yeah,
like if the biological mom isn't fully aware of who the
right,
potential father could be, and then
right.
a surprise comes out later, and they're just like, it's not what we signed up for, and then they
Uh,
back out. It's like, come on, it's
yeah,
I can't say it's
yeah,
2023 because like I mean this may apply to other years,
right, right.
but it all comes down to the same thing, fear.
Yeah, no,
And
100%.
just like with biological grandparents stepping in and saying no, the child needs to stay
Right.
with us because
Yeah.
that's fear.
Yeah,
That's
no, it
just
is 100%.
fear taking over.
Yeah,
Because I fully believe if my biological dad's parents could have stopped it,
they would
I
have.
think they would have.
Really?
I think they would
Wow.
have.
Yeah,
Because they were in Germany. She came back to the States.
that's right.
And
Yeah, that's
they
right.
always made comments. It would have been better if you were with us. It would have been better if you were part like if we were part of your life every day. And it's just like
But you like you
respectfully,
can't
I'm not entirely saying that.
yeah, and you can't say that too because how do you know how
Yeah.
the future's going to pan out? How do you know how
Right.
somebody's life's going to pan out? You don't.
Right.
Like you
Exactly.
don't.
Well, and it's all
Oh,
fear. It's all based in fear.
100, yeah,
I don't
100%.
think adoptions fall through for any other reason, but if you look at it based in fear every
Yeah,
single time.
yeah. And it
And what is it I said in all these earlier episodes? If you've been listening for a while, you know what I'm about to say. Zach Williams Band does a really great song, Fear is a Liar. Just saying.
no, it's so true. So give it a listen and you won't be disappointed is all I have to say. You won't be. No, but like it's like I can't imagine too as an adoptive parent, like that would like seeing her story, I would probably be so incredibly mad. Especially if I'm one of those parents that has like had a couple failed adoptions and it's taken a lot for us to build our family and it's like really this is the opportunity you're presented with and you're just gifting it away like it's like I just because there are so many too like failed adoptions that happen and it's just so sad like it's so sad for parents who are on waiting list after waiting list and they're like
Mm-hmm.
this is our third fourth adoption and birth mom changed your mind, or it's like, we said grandparents stepped in or somebody stepped in and was like,
Mhm.
actually, like it's got to be so disheartening, because it's like, my body's not doing what it's supposed to do. Like, what the hell, God? Like, I'm not able to bring a child
Mhm.
into this world. And now we're trying to find another one, like another way to build our family. And this isn't working either. It's like, I
Right.
can't even imagine the heartache. And then on top of that, all the shit and the hate they get. You shouldn't be a parent.
Mhm.
Like, you shouldn't do adoption. Blood needs to stay with blood. Color needs to stay with color. It's like, people blow my mind with the shit that they think they need to tell other people when it's not even their lives. Like, we were talking about one person we want to come on, and how she was like, they only see a glimpse of the life. They only see a glimpse
Mhm.
of her life, and they don't know anything else, but they have all this,
Mhm.
Delancey was saying that. She's like, they got all this shit to say, but they see a blip of her life. Like,
I'm always the one that'll be like, you've got all these opinions and you know nothing.
it's
Like
so true.
you know what they want to share with you. And you
Yes.
like it's like you have all these opinions. You just look at people and you're just going, golly, what is your life like for you to be this opinionated about somebody you don't know? I
Yes.
mean, it and like you said, it's like you see just a little bit, like you don't see but that's like with everything. I have
Yeah.
noticed that as social media, and I'm pretty sure I've said this either on here or you and I have talked about it, or maybe I've just said it in my head or I've just said it out loud to somebody else, but I've always stood by this that social media, when it started, it was so much fun because, like, you could post your little pictures and like you could like do your little cat videos and like it's all this like super fun stuff. And now it has gotten to the cesspool of just icky,
Look at me.
where people will go on there and they will just, I mean, I think last week I looked at somebody and I went, oh my gosh, Audacity is on like clearance, not even on sale, on clearance. The amount of things that people are running around and saying on, I mean, I stayed off Twitter and Facebook for like 3 or 4 days for the simple fact of are you kidding? Like, this is just the audacity is just ridiculous. And you're just going, you don't know, like you said, you see a blip. You see a blip. And even if you see more than a blip, at the end of the day, you don't know everything that's going on. You don't know the entire walk. And saying nasty, negative things doesn't make
Yeah.
anything better. It
No.
actually kind of makes it worse. Like,
Yeah.
why? Like, I will never understand going out of your way to be icky and
Yeah.
nasty or rude, or to
Right.
make an off color comment just for
Yeah.
shock value, just to,
Yeah.
it's not cute, it's actually gross. It's
Yeah.
really, it doesn't make the world a better place. It makes the world and just because it makes one person feel better to put someone else down, it's almost like you should look at them and go,
Yeah.
is your life that boring or that miserable that you have to
Right.
like, and it's no, it doesn't apply anymore. When they used to say, what was it, the old adage, all press is good press, where it used to be like good bad doesn't matter as long as your name's in the paper, it doesn't matter. That's not the case anymore. It's not the case anymore. Just
It is
because
not.
you have a thought, good, bad,
Right.
icky,
Yeah.
doesn't mean you
Yeah.
should post it or comment on
Exactly.
it, especially
Yeah.
somebody else's life.
Agreed. Agreed.
Which I'm
100%.
excited about what you're talking about. I'm excited about it because obviously that's going to be several episodes down the road. But I think I'm going to make a note to call back. I probably won't remember, but call back to this and go, remember when we talked about that? Let's discuss these icky questions. Like,
Yeah.
please,
Yeah.
please, and put this to
Well,
bed.
for real. And it's just sad because, yeah, I'm with you. I don't understand that. And I'm with you too. I remember the days it was like just squares. It was squares on Instagram, and you had all the filters from Instagram that you could use to put over your picture.
Mhm.
It's like, look at what I did, or look at my cute craft, or look at, and now it's like reel after reel after reel, which, don't get me wrong, some of them I love to go through because they make me laugh harder than shit because
Mhm.
they're funny. But it's just like, it's crazy, this world that we're in now. It's like influencer after influencer, and people just want to be all these content creators. And it's like, oh, it's just, sometimes it's just a lot. It's just a lot. It's just a lot. And I'm just like, remember the
Well,
days when you would just post a picture of your dog and people would be like, oh, it's so cute. Like, seriously though. It's not like that.
And that's the other thing too. It's like it's almost like you have to protect your algorithm to protect your mental peace.
Yes, 100%.
I
It's
never
so
thought I would say
true,
that sentence in my life.
but it's true. It's 100% true, which, oh, is crazy. My algorithm is a lot of fitness stuff because I follow, since you told me to follow him, Joey Swole. I
I
love
love
him.
him. I
I love all his
love him
videos.
so much.
And so a lot of my
Joey
stuff is
Swole is
like
the best.
fitness stuff, but it's also funny videos, which I love. So like it's pretty
Hmm.
good. There's once in a while like Taylor Swift shit comes up, and we talked about that. The Lindsay Lohan. I'm not a huge
I'm
fan.
like, I'm just so caught up. Like, I can't say anything. One of my nieces, like abhorrently just like does not like her, like
Yeah.
flat out. She's like, I think it's ridiculous. And I'm like, I think her lyrical content is hilarious. Like, I
Like,
think it's, I mean, she's creative. I will give her that. And
but I don't wish her, she's not my cup of tea, but I
yeah,
don't wish her ill will. Like the things that she has done with her tour, and to see, there was an article I think I saw that she took care of her people, like that are touring, like
bonuses.
even more
Yes.
mad respect for her. You know what I mean? Like she's not my
It's just not,
jam,
yeah,
but
it's just not your
she's a
thing.
good human, that what she's doing, that it's
Hmm.
like, how can you can't hate that, but it's just like, it's just fun. It just kills me. But anyway.
I will say, in my speaking of algorithms and speaking of Taylor Swift, and just like I know I said I would stay on topic, but I can't help it. I have to share this. The My TikTok algorithm is based around Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift right now because I love him. I love him. I think he is hilarious. He is talented. He's a great athlete. He is
Agreed.
funny. He's true to himself. And the fact that he got kicked
Agreed.
out of preschool is hilarious to me.
Agreed.
Like, how do you get kicked out of
Yeah.
preschool? How does that happen? But whatever.
But he
But
did.
he did, it happened. But the part that gets me is my algorithm. There are so many videos of wives recording their husbands and saying,
Oh,
can you believe that Taylor Swift put Travis Kelce on the map? And the husband's like, excuse me?
she did
Are you
not.
kidding? No, and like they start rattling off stats and they're like, she goes,
Right?
yeah, isn't that just so great for him that Taylor Swift came into his life and the husbands get so mad. And then you flip
No.
it and it's husbands recording the wives saying, oh my God, isn't that awesome that Travis Kelce like finally got Taylor Swift recognized within those like and got her some recognition and put her on the map? Like she really wasn't anybody before him. And
See,
the
I haven't seen the
wives
husband
getting so
ones.
oh,
I've only seen the wives to the husbands. Oh, I gotta, if you find
I've
one, send it to
started
me because I want to see it.
I would say one or two of those have popped up in the mix, and the wives get so much more mad than the husbands do. The husbands are just like, man, forget it. I can't talk to you. And they just walk off. But it's so funny. Like, but that it goes back to everything that you look at, everything that you watch. I mean, I hate to say that, but your phone pays attention. So, I mean, if you want to get happy, uplifting, interesting, acknowledge the bad, but we appreciate the hard, you should definitely follow our Instagram page so that your algorithm
It's true.
will lead you to other adoptees and, people in the adoption community that are
Yeah.
wanting to share. Thanks, Pocket.
No, but you're so right on the algorithm, because I know there was my one sister-in-law. She was telling me she like took a, how'd she, like, I don't even know. They went down a wormhole, is what she said one day. And it was like all political stuff. And she's like, all this political stuff shows up in my, I'm like, yeah, it's because you swiped after swiped after swiped after swiped. So then your
Mhm.
algorithm's like, okay, this is what you want to see. Isn't that so crazy? So I like what Delancey said is, and it goes for anything. And I think Delancey said this before, you can find anything on the internet. If you are
Mhm.
looking for something specific, if you're anti-adoption, you're going to find it. Pro-adoption, I feel like that's a little bit stickier to find, but you can find it because like I feel like the anti is just over it. But I promise you, if you're looking for it, you can find it. Who was it? Anna that came on, that she said she was in one of those Facebook groups that, remember, you were
Mhm.
talking about, and
Yep.
all the adoptees were so anti, and then she got on and she found us, and she's like, oh my gosh, there's some people that are actually like, they like
Right.
adoption like she
Right.
does. And it's just crazy. It's just
Well,
so
and
crazy.
if you have to protect, you have to be careful because if you don't, it's just like
Yeah.
I I want to say even you said it. You're like, I wasn't like, am I supposed to be thinking like this? Like, is it
Yes.
like because you start
Yes.
when there's so many people that like the algorithm is leading you to so many people that are thinking differently than you, and you just kind of start going, why am I thinking differently? What's going on? What's happening? And
Right.
it's, you just have to protect it. And I almost wonder if the fear factor comes from people doing their research and the algorithm is only like they're not proactively intentionally searching for things. The algorithm is
Yes.
just bringing them whatever they look at, and they're not looking for both sides, because when you do
Yeah.
research you need to look at both sides and
Yes.
then compare the data to what you want to believe, to what you feel right believing in.
Right.
But if you just trust the algorithm, of course, it's going to increase the fear, which may later affect what's going to happen with the adoption that you're participating in, no matter what
Yeah.
side you're on, whether it's on biological or
Right.
adoptive. We don't
Yeah.
need to we don't need to trust the algorithm.
No.
We need to find the research and look at both sides. Just saying.
And I feel like with the adoption community, the best thing to do is actually talk to tangible humans that you can get their
Mm-hmm.
experiences, not somebody who's like Delancey sees all the time, those TikTok lives, not those people. Like people that are willing
Exhausting.
to go off the screen and have a private conversation with you in their DMs and
Mm-hmm.
be an adult about it. Not like,
Mm-hmm.
well, this is my point and you can only see my way, to be like, okay, I understand that, but for this is what happened with my story, but I can understand why you'd feel that way. Like
Mm-hmm.
you want to talk to people like that are going to give you some compassion and some, okay, I understand that, but for me, this is with my story and this is why I feel this way. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? It's just like you're gonna find what you can find if you're willing to look for it hard enough. And sometimes it's not so hunky dory. That's all I have to say. It's not, yeah. It can be real nasty. But anyway, yeah. What
Can
else do
always
you
be that
have
way.
for what are we talking about? Oh my gosh, why can't I find? Oh,
Why
why adoptions fall
adoptions
through.
fall through.
I was about to say fear. Fear, because it really is though, like the root of it all. I agree 100%
It
with
really
Delancey on
is.
both sides. Anybody involved in like the adoption process is 100% fear. I get it. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, ugh, I can't
It's
imagine.
always, and it comes down to one of those things where it's like, and sometimes you may, when the biological mom changes her mind because she feels like it's not the right thing, okay, I get it. But I
Yeah,
mean, it's also, I feel like that still comes down to fear, because you're scared you're making the
agreed.
wrong decision,
Yeah,
so you
no,
change your
it's
mind,
true.
which is, I'm not, before anyone thinks anything differently, like I'm not saying that's good or bad either way.
Yeah,
It's, and I've never been a part of that. I've never been in that situation, but I do know that it would be I know it would be very scary. Like
yeah,
it would terrify me to make
no,
a decision like that. Like I'm,
100%. No,
I have deep rooted feelings about, this one right here. And if you're watching
it's
a
like,
YouTube video, she's been very
hello.
participative in this. But like I have very deep rooted feelings about this, like
Yeah,
about Pocket. I couldn't imagine,
right.
a human being. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
No,
that's a different
100%.
level. So
Yeah.
I
One
mean,
thing I want to say
fear's
too
normal.
is I have mad respect for adoptive parents
Oh
because
yes.
I feel like one, they're put through the ringer like none other during the process, before the process, after the process of adoption. And I can't speak for their feelings on actually adopting a child, but like I can't imagine now that I have children of my own, like biological children, like having that, it's kind of opened my eyes a little bit to like, feelings and stuff that's happened with like my biological family. But
Mm-hmm.
it's like you just want happiness for your child. But I can't imagine like having another layer added of like a really hard family that your kid comes from. But there's also
Right.
that added layer of a really good family that your kid comes from, and you have that open
Mm-hmm.
adoption. There's got to be all those crazy feelings too. So, what I'm just saying is, I have mad respect for adoptive parents. I really do, because it's a whole different way of parenting. And to just do it, man, in my eyes, you're just badass. If you're not like this crazy lady and you give your child back.
I couldn't imagine. I just can't. I still can't wrap my head around that.
It's just sad. She hasn't been on social media since 2020.
Okay, you know what? Honestly, good.
Yeah, when I was looking at her stuff. And I
Like
won't
that's.
say her name, but all you have to do is Google mom who gave back child and she'll pop right up. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I can send you her name. I'll send you her name. the shape
I was
of
gonna
the.
say, I mean,
Oh, come on.
that's just the thought just makes me, it honestly makes me sick to my stomach.
No, it's true.
Wow, it popped up as a search
Oh,
algorithm. Oh, wait a minute. I do remember this.
okay. See, yeah,
I
might
do
jog some
remember
memories if
this.
you search it.
Now that I'm seeing the
Yep.
picture, I do remember this.
Yep. She found it.
Yeah, I had
See,
some
it's
very
hard.
strong feelings about this.
Agreed.
I had
Agreed.
some very, very strong feelings about this because
Yeah.
mhm.
Yeah, watching YouTube, you can't see it, but yeah, it's I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, are you kidding me? Just disgust. Pure
Well,
disgust.
it goes back to my initial thought was, wow, could we be a little more performative?
It's so true. And we
Not
talk about
every
that all the
aspect of your
time.
life needs to be there. Yeah, not every aspect of your life needs to be on social media. Like that's the part that just drives
Yes.
me 100% bananas.
And
You don't
it's
have
like,
to post everything. You don't have to put every single moment of your life on social media. There are some things that should be private because at the end of the day, you don't really owe anybody an explanation as to what's going on in your life. And the whole entire, I distinctly remember watching the tears and going,
on that on this mom. Is that what you're talking about? On this mom
mm-hmm,
that you found? Yeah.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
But
I can't even.
I'm also one of those people that I'm a little more pointed with my discernment. Sometimes people keep their opinions to themselves and they do the whole entire, well, what is it that people do? It's, well, their life must be very hard, and it's just, no, absolutely not. Like, you call out crap behavior for being crap behavior. Like, I don't, no, 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 no. But then again, I'm also not one of those people that puts every moment of my life on social media. I know I have
Right,
people
right,
that
right.
criticize how often I post to my stories, but
Why?
it's what was it? It was
Like
something
you do
stupid
it too
about,
much?
mhm. Like, yeah,
You
I
post your
and
stories.
I was gonna say, I heard I don't post as much as, and what I do post is like stuff having to do with my job
Yeah.
or stuff having to do with our podcast
Yeah. Or her workouts to keep
or
herself accountable.
or or yeah, oh,
Yeah.
that's actually the one that has caused the most fire in
Oh
some
my
people.
gosh.
I've literally gotten messages that say, my favorite was, I'm so sick of looking at your feet. Do you have to post that every day?
You don't have to watch them because if it helps me keep myself accountable, bye. Bye, Felicia.
You,
Bye.
I know what literally I wrote back. This was a somebody that I've known for quite some time, and I wrote back and I said, it's really easy to not look.
Seriously
And
though.
I sent like the little winky face emoji, like it's really easy to not look with a winky face emoji, like have not heard another word since.
Yeah,
But
seriously
it's
though.
like, it's not
Oh.
like I post things every once in a while, but this kind of stuff where it has like the crying and the
You
you
can
don't
tell when
have
it's
to
real
post,
and you can
right?
tell when it's performative. 100%.
Hmm. And that's the other thing is people are so like they don't watch body language,
Uh-uh.
facial expressions, all those things. Like I look at that to see if you're being genuine or not. Like
It's so true.
it comes back with the discernment thing. It's not
Yeah, no.
I it's not like I intentionally look at somebody when they're crying and being like, are you,
Is this for real?
is this for real? But I'm a very observant person. And I remember watching her video with her and her husband and going, yeah, that's,
Just
you
gross.
should have just
Yeah,
not
agreed.
this. Like Melena said, you took an opportunity from somebody else. Like that's,
Yeah,
I don't know if you exactly said it that way, but I'm going to reform your sentence and say it that
I
way.
like it. No, that was a good way to put it. It was very good. I liked it a lot. That was good. So, okay,
Glad you told
anything
me to
else you
Google
want
that.
to I know. Bring back memories of her craziness. Because I totally forgot about it until we started talking about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, that chick. Yeah.
I totally forgot until you told me to Google that, and I looked at it, and the second I saw the picture, I immediately remembered like
Who she was. Yeah. And all
maybe
that.
fear should have stepped in on that one.
Agreed. Agreed 100% before anything happened. I
Ooh,
mean,
pride overrode that one.
it's true. 100%.
Mhm.
It's I don't understand it. All the influencer shit, but that's a whole
Do you have
different
anything
topic.
else you'd like to add? Because I keep like extending stuff.
No, no, I think it's good. I just like my ending words were I just think adoptive parents are great and it saddens my heart that
Mhm.
people like this um make it so hard for people that want to adopt, make it a harder journey
Yeah,
for them because that's not fair. It's stupid in my opinion.
like
So,
yeah, that go in with the intent to be a
yeah.
parent,
Yeah.
good, bad,
Yeah.
or ugly, with the
Yeah.
intent to be a parent, and they're not afraid. Like they don't step away because I mean, it's like we
Or
said when
regift their child.
oh God, that's so terrible. Fear is so like I get it, but you
It's
know,
huge. Yeah. It's a big ass
it's,
emotion, man. Ugh.
it really is. It's such a big emotion, and it obviously affects a lot of things because
Yeah.
adoptions fall through all the time, and I can't even say the sentence of like the what this had to do with the YouTube channel. I mean, it's just like just the quote, the rehoming thing that just it just
Yeah.
feels disgusting to say.
It
Like just
does.
feels disgusting.
Yeah. It's gross. That's why she
Mm-mm.
hasn't been back. She got a lot of hate. Let's see. Anyway, okay. Anything else?
No, I think I'm
You good?
good over
All right.
here.
Okay. Thanks, guys, as always, for listening. And they changed the end recording on me. Sorry. We will catch you next time.
I was gonna say Pocket like popped up when you said thanks, guys. She's like, is it time to say goodbye?
And goodbye.